Welcome, it's I, your crazy head British guy, and yeah, I've got some weird news for you guys today, but before we get into it, please hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and yeah, let's get into it. So BTC dominance is at 51.3%, and we're bouncing around the 3,900 mark. I'm not going to be impressed until we pass 4,000 to 4,200, and so yeah, that's kind of what's happening at the moment. Maybe we'll go down. But yeah, that's what's going on with the rest of the crypto market. Anyway, let's get into the crazy news that you guys are here for. So as you can tell by the title of this, Crypto Troll launches Communist Manifesto into space using Bitcoin. It wasn't any old troll, it was Motherboard that actually did it. So you guys might remember I did report on the fact that people were using Bitcoin testnet to send messages into space. So this is a continuation of that. Now, there are a lot of people that have the theory that most of the mainstream media are actually communists, right? And this does not help that conspiracy theory whatsoever. So let's get into the article. In a bit of an obvious troll move, yeah, it's pretty obvious and it's definitely a troll, Motherboard used the testnet version of a Lightning Network message embedding service to embed the closed lines of the Communist Manifesto on the testnet Bitcoin blockchain. Obvious trolling is obvious. Many in the crypto community are vehemently anti-communist. I definitely am. A strong contingent prefers no government at all outside of crypto consensus. So yeah, there's definitely a how do I want to put it? There's definitely like a libertarian bent to crypto, which I think is great. I love that. Journalist Jordan Pearson writes, I used a satellite service from blockchain technology company Blockstream. In 2017, Blockstream launched a service that beams the Bitcoin blockchain down from satellites covering North and South America, Africa, Europe and Asia, so the whole world. This could, for example, be used as a backup link for Bitcoin businesses in case the internet goes down. In January, Blockstream released an API that added the ability to broadcast messages using the satellite service and the testnet version of the experimental Lightning payment network for Bitcoin. This is a great thing because, you know, Bitcoin doesn't need the internet anymore, which therefore, as far as I'm concerned, means that eventually crypto will become more powerful than the internet, I guess, more revolutionary. Anyway, to continue on. Bitcoin blocks have contained messages since block 0, where Satoshi Nakamoto embedded the following message. The Times, 03 January 2009, Chancellor on the brink of second bailout for banks during the crisis. So that's one of the reasons why Bitcoin was so successful in not in the beginning, but later on now, right? Because of where Bitcoin was born from. The Bitcoin blockchain doesn't offer much space for messages. It's prohibitively expensive as well. I can't talk today. To do it on the real main chain, Lightning Network will change this situation, and we wonder what sort of services might be built on it. Unlike other blockchains, Bitcoin doesn't necessarily want to store all kinds of data. Already hundreds of gigabytes in size, many argue that the larger the chain gets, the less decentralized it will become. Because of hosting, I'm guessing. Nevertheless, a service called SpaceBit made Pearson's trolling possible. It works on the testnet version of Lightning Network and eventually plans to go live on the main version. Lightning enables low-cost transactions which can also contain messages, thus such a service might actually be popular and profitable. What sort of messages would it be used for? And I did ask that because, as far as I'm concerned, someone could tweet out something really crazy and disgusting that we would all be offended by. I don't know, like I said previously, something that's like pro-pedophilia or pro-rape or, you know, something like that. So I wonder how they're going to deal with that. Blockstream's Dan Williams thinks it could be useful for some kind of decentralized Twitter service. Yeah, we do need that actually, because Twitter is like shadow banning people, blocking people, deleting accounts. The blockchain is immutable, permanent, and has incentives to exist for a very long time. That being the case, people in regions suffering censorship might find it more useful than those with some degree of personal freedom. So places like China, I'm guessing. alternative chains like Bitcoin SB have entire active messaging services like BitChat, which sees dozens of messages sent through the blockchain every hour. Users embed the messages in transactions themselves with little effort. The blockchain cannot be censored except by its miners. As such, it's been used for various types of content. In a recent example, someone protested the US government's banning of an Iranian Bitcoin address. In a past era, a project enabled the viewing of such messages with ease. It's no longer live, but you can set up and install it yourself if you like. It's called Messages from the Mines. It's kind of an interesting name. I like that. People embed everything from graffiti, so and so was here, etc., to love messages, to ASCIR. There is also crypto graffiti, which provides a live stream of messages as they appear. It used to work on Bitcoin, but moved to Bitcoin Cash, and then it moved on to Bitcoin SV at some point. Blockchains are useful for many types of data verification beyond simple financial transactions. Some people think it might be the best way to verify time travel. Please, someone verify time travel. Wouldn't that be cool? Really, I love Back to the Future, so do it. If a person claims to be from the future, they only need to provide future blockchain data to prove it. Going back in time might also be provable. Then again, if one could go back to 2010, spending as much as possible investing in Bitcoin would be the obvious move. Yes, it would. Rather than worrying about proving that you went back in time. Guys, if you are a time traveler and you see this video, please come back in time now and tell me where to invest. All right? Because none of us have a clue in this market. None of us. Even though they pretend to. Anyway, moving on to more, I guess I want to say more boring news, but not really. SEC Chairman Clayton affirms agency's stance: Ether is no longer a security. So this is really good news. So it's not that boring. The US Securities and Exchange Commission's chairman has seconded a colleague's analysis that found the world's second largest cryptocurrency likely does not qualify as a security. Last year, SEC Director of Corporation Finance, William Hinman, said during a speech that Ethereum, the number 2 coin by market cap at the time, did not exhibit the properties of a security at the time. He explained that he did not see a central group as being responsible for the cryptocurrency, and they're not. Well, I don't get into that argument. Congressman Ted Budd with industry advocate Group Coin Center asked for clarification on whether SEC Chairman Jay Clayton agreed with Hinman's remarks. The regulator has now responded by saying he agrees that the analysis of whether a digital asset is offered or sold as a security is not static and does not strictly adhere to the instrument. So essentially, I guess what they're saying there is that something could have been a security but is no longer a security. A cryptocurrency may be sold as a security when it's first launched if it meets the definition of an investment contract, but the digital asset may later be sold or offered to consumers without being investments, Clayton wrote in a letter dated March 7th. So yeah, that is a correct assumption on my part. And obviously that means that a lot of people that are in the industry that have maybe done ICOs and things like that are kind of breathing a sigh of relief there by his reaction. I agree with Director Hinman's explanation of how a digital asset transaction may no longer represent an investment contract if, for example, purchasers would no longer reasonably expect a person or group to carry out the essential managerial or entrepreneurial efforts. Under those circumstances, the digital asset may not represent an investment contract under the Howey framework. Their letter did not mention Ethereum by name, however. I mean, they don't really need to. Clayton's letter echoes comments he made at CoinDesk's Consensus Invest last year, where he likened digital assets to tickets for a new play. At the time, Clayton suggested that a group of investors might be promised a suite of tickets in return for funding the play, which would qualify these tickets as securities. However, if at a later date tickets are only sold to give each theatre goer a chance to see the play, that's decentralized. Well, that's not really decentralized, but I get his point. This aspect of decentralization is important, according to Clayton. He'd earlier touched on the point while discussing Bitcoin, noting that generally an asset like Bitcoin, where it's decentralized, does not fit within a securities designation. Bitcoin is definitely not security. No one is creating it for their own control of Bitcoin. It's designed to be a payment system, replacement for sovereign currencies, and possibly even governments. He said, we've determined that that doesn't have the attributes of a security as far as I'm concerned. That's designed to be akin to the dollar, the yen, the euro, and it operates that way. People who purchase it are expecting it to operate that way, and it does. So yeah, that's really good news. I know it's not weird news, but it's relevant and it's good news for anybody involved in crypto, really. So moving on to more weirder news. Tron founder Justin Sun to spend USD 20 million on new Twitter followers. Now, I went ahead and read this article and geez. If you're looking to boost your follower number on Twitter and your content just doesn't cut it anymore, there may be hope for you yet. Take an example from Justin Sun, founder and CEO of blockchain platform Tron, who is bidding for even more recognition from the Twitter world by organising an airdrop supposedly worth USD $20 million. Of course, that's not the reason he's giving it publicly. The thing about that, guys, is that you've seen the Twitter scams that are going on. So doing this, there's going to be a ton of people that are going to be saying, you know, send me a little bit of Tron and I'll send you this much Tron back, like they've done with Ethereum. So yeah, be careful of that. There's going to be a lot of scams on Twitter now. So he goes on to say, to celebrate BitTorrent token and Tether Tron success, I'm planning a USD 20 million free cash airdrop. Good news, it's coming. Bad news, I may decide to give away more. First, I will randomly pick one winner for a Tesla up until the 27th of the 3rd to apply. Follow me and retweet this. Simple. Tweeted the entrepreneur earlier today and added this picture. So basically you got to follow him and retweet. So he's trying to gather followers. He's really good at marketing, to be honest. He is good at marketing. The celebration may be the main reason for the giveaway, but Justin Sun has been on the hunt for more Twitter followers for a while now, having overtaken all the other project leaders from the top 20 coins by market capitalization. He's also paid to promote his profile and was delighted to overtake Affirms co-founder and main political figure Vitalik Buterin, adding to the theory that Tesla cars and millions of dollars mean nothing in the face of Twitter recognition. Yeah, you just wanted to retweet it to get the Tesla, said one Twitter follower there. And this giveaway may well get him that 1 million goal. As of the time of writing, Sun has 948,000 followers, steadily increasing by the minute. The followers don't even care much about his reasons. Still not exactly sure how BTT was a success, but as long as he gives away money, I don't care what his definition is, wrote SmokeyXBT on Twitter. Interestingly, the rules of the competition are yet to be released, although many took his tweet to mean that a single winner would take $20 million worth in the airdrop. There is also the possibility that the winnings will be divided by some criteria. So if you look here, there's the statistics. So like, yeah, he's basically buying followers, but at the same time, innocent people may be put at risk because they might think that they're actually taking part in this competition when actually they're being scammed. So watch out for that, guys. Yeah, and that's been the weird, strange-ish kind of news for today. If you do like these types of videos, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And I will see you tomorrow for more weird news.